Buzz Lightyear on the Sega Dreamcast we have for you today, based on the I think it's a cartoon series, right, rather than the actual Toy Story movie. So Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, to give it its full title, I believe. Not a game I've played, as is quite commonly becoming the case with a lot of the Dreamcast games, which is weird because I considered myself as having quite a decent experience with the system in terms of the amount of games I'd played, but yeah, there's quite a lot that I hadn't. It's quite clear. So this was developed by Traveller's Tales, who've made some great games over the years. So I'm reasonably optimistic that it'll be a solid enough game. I think we're all expecting probably a standard sort of platformer, but who knows? This was released on the PS1 and Dreamcast in 2001 in the UK. Was also on Game Boy Color in obviously a different form, but yeah, I don't know what to expect really, but we'll see. This is quite a nice intro. I'm assuming these are clips from the cartoon series, which I have never seen, to be honest. I think everyone loves Toy Story though, right? I certainly do. Great films. I'm assuming that you're chasing down the evil Emperor Zurg as Buzz. I don't know if you just play as Buzz or any of the other Toy Story characters, or it seems more like it's based on the actual Buzz property itself, you know, like the internal kind of meta story that he is this space ranger as opposed to a toy. So I would guess it is just Buzz. So Joad.
Stop! In the name of Star
Okay, I
Command.
have no idea who this chap is.
Sorry, no can do like you.
This interesting looking man. Okay, so it doesn't really feel like a platformer, more like a shooter, I guess. So I don't know what I'm going to do, just presumably travel along the level, shooting what I can, grabbing stuff. All pretty standard. It might just be me, but it almost has like a semi-cell shaded look, sort of, on Buzz himself. I might be seeing things there though, but it kind of looks that way. Which I guess they've done to try and make it look a bit more like the cartoon. Okay, so I've got some wings. Shield. It's pretty basic in feel. It's really it's a bit bland, isn't it? Linear levels I'm fine with. It's not necessarily just that it's down corridors, but it's very basic. Not quite what I was hoping for in terms of gameplay. I loved the Toy Story platformer on the Mega Drive, which I felt showed quite a lot of creativity with its levels. That was just a side-scrolling platformer, but there were some really good little touches on that. But this one does feel a little bit more on the mundane side, a little bit more of a cash-in. Not to say it's a bad game, it feels quite functional. Graphically, yeah, it's a little bit lacking in detail and creativity. I think they kind of dialed it in a bit. I don't want to be too harsh. Just my thoughts on what I'm seeing so far. But it's a game I can already tell I would have enjoyed if I was the age that it's obviously intended for. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But yeah, Disney, they were very hit and miss with the games. I mean, they've had some. Obviously, the only 10 out of 10 I've given on the channel so far was a Disney game, Aladdin on the Mega Drive. Still, the only 10 out of 10 I've given, and I think we're coming up to 50 videos into my channel now. So that says a lot. And that was a Disney game, albeit not developed by Disney. I think it was by Virgin Interactive, as I recall. But I'm a little bit disappointed with this just because it's a good license that Traveller's Tales have got here, and they've done some great things since. Obviously, I think they've done the Lego games, I want to say. You know, like the majority of them. I always know them for Sonic 3D Blast, as it was called, or Flicky's Island, as it was known in the UK, on the Mega Drive and Saturn. I loved that game. It doesn't get a lot of praise compared to the other Sonic games.
Stop! In the name of Star Command.
So we're going to have to redo that again. It looks to me like what I have to do is catch the guy, basically, as opposed to just leisurely walk around shooting things as I was doing. Maybe it's a race. Okay. We'll just try out running him and see what happens. He does move very slowly. So we'll have a look. That's been one of the most crazy things I've found so far playing through these games. Kids games, I've not exactly been doing very well with them, have I? I always used to class myself as quite a, I wouldn't say a great gamer, but decent. I'm very good at some quite high skill level games in the past, Unreal Tournament and Geometry Wars on the Xbox 360. But when it comes to kids games on PS1, Dreamcast and the Mega Drive, not been doing great. It's not the best to control when you're on the hovercraft or whatever this thing is, like a surfboard, maybe? Hoverboard? Okay, so I'm well ahead of the guy now. It's an interesting little power-up. I don't know who that guy is, one of the other Space Rangers, I guess. You press the button and he drops as like a huge grenade. So there are a couple of nice little touches to this, but it's very basic. Oh god, he's back again, he's in front of me. Come on, Buzz. I think it's definitely a race. Good thing I sprinted a little bit there.
I got this one, Buzz.
So I don't know if that's just common to the first level, having a race level, or if that is literally what the game is, so we'll find out, I guess, on the next level. I've just been thinking, another game that... Oh, I have to actually shoot him too, okay. So it's like every level is a boss, maybe? I was just going to say, another game that Traveller's Tales developed, which I loved, was Pugsy on the Mega Drive. I say loved, only in as much as it's got a sentimental attachment for me. I'm really looking forward to getting around to that again on the Mega Drive, as it's a game I could not get anywhere with as a kid. So I'm looking forward to seeing if I can do a little bit better as a guy who's 33. Although by the time I get to P on the Mega Drive, I'll probably be in my mid-40s. Flamar. Okay. So let's see if it follows the same pattern as the first level.
Buzz, does it have to
And it does look like it.
There's only room in my life for one lady.
He just runs off.
No one refuses me.
Yeah. Not the best, in my opinion. It's essentially a racing game where you shoot stuff, but there's not much point doing so, because you can just run past it until you reach the boss at the end, who you just shoot a bit. So it's a pretty average game, isn't it, in all respects? Which is a shame, because the license is fantastic. The things you can do with Buzz Lightyear. You could make a really cool third-person action-adventure game, couldn't you? But, alas, they did not. They made a game like this that I assume they burped out pretty quickly to meet a deadline. But like I say, I'm clearly not the target audience. It is for younger children. But even bearing that in mind, I think you'd be a little bit disappointed just how basic the game is, even as a kid. There's far better on the Dreamcast and the PlayStation 1, assuming that the version on the PS1 is very similar to this. Maybe a bit worse looking, obviously. Where is she? Oh, she's just gone down there. I saw her with her large head. The environments are very bland as well, which is disappointing. It just feels like not a lot of care and love was put into this. It's like they've assessed who their target audience is and put the level of effort they feel that they need, which is a shame, I think. But we will...
So, it comes down to this.
It's interesting, this actually, so just about to cut myself off there, but I obviously lost the race to this boss because I got there after her, but it's still letting me fight her, because in the first level the guy beat me and then that was the end. I failed and I had to replay the level, so that's interesting. I don't know what the reason is for that. Okay, so it looks like I have to take down her shield first, which I'm guessing is the purple orb of health, which is almost gone. Taking some blasting. I've got to be careful, my health is quite low actually. There we go. I mean, controls wise it's all very responsive and fine in its defence, I guess. Like I say, it doesn't necessarily do anything terribly, it's just one of the most average and sort of banal attempts at a child's game based on Buzz Lightyear you could get. Not fantastic, sadly. One of the poorer games we've played so far on the Sega Dreamcast, and not one I can recommend as a result. Far better efforts available to you on this fantastic system than Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. Not brilliant.
And in the meantime, keep that pretty little nose of yours clean.
Wow.